It's day 16 and I've got something very special to share with you today. Welcome. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining me. If you are new, please do hit that subscribe button and help us just to support this channel. I've been looking through my stash at what cards I could make, and I am trying to use up some of my kits. Some of the kits you'll have seen are ones I've used in previous videos. Some are kits that I haven't used yet. And I was looking through and I found a kit that I really wanted to do on video for you. If you're a regular here, you will know how much I love my 3D decoupage cards. And I was going through and I found my Call of the Wild decoupage toppers kit. I previously have made some cards using a Christmas decoupage kit, and they ended up being my best sellers. Like, I took them to my craft fair and they sold so quickly. Everybody seemed to love the 3D decoupage cards. I'd managed to pick up a pack of the Call of the Wild. They do, or at least they did, have two other different decoupage toppers kits. And one of them they brought down in their Black Friday sale, and I had it in my basket and I went to check out and it had sold out. They're absolutely stunning kits, and you can make up to, I think it's 64 layered decoupage toppers. They are normally $24.99. Now the kit that came on offer came down to $14.99, which was an absolute bargain. I'm super jealous of anybody who managed to get that. As I say, it was in my basket and I lost it. But I am determined that in the new year I'm going to try and get the other two layered decoupage kits if they still have them, because I absolutely love them. Now, I haven't picked a topper yet. I'm going to go through, pick a topper, make the topper up, and then I'm going to grab some papers that will match. So these are literally just sheets of layered decoupage, and if you haven't seen them already, I do have a craft haul with these in, so please do go and check out on my channel. But essentially you get, I think it's 4 sheets of each. Each sheet has 2 different toppers, and I think it did tell me in the front how many is there. 8 designs, so there's 8 different designs, 4 of each of those 8 different designs. This one is the Call of the Wild pack. I think I'm just going to pick the first one I see that I really like, to be honest. And I must admit, I do think this front sheet is absolutely stunning. I'm only going to make up one of the toppers. Yeah, let's go for this. And I think I'm going to go for the wolf topper, to be honest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by popping all of these elements out. If you haven't seen or made or used layered decoupage like this, I think the effects from this are beautiful, like absolutely stunning. They do take some time to put together. Now, I am going to record me putting it together. However, if during editing I feel like it's just taking too long, I may fast forward this part of the video. But if I do decide to fast forward it and you'd actually really like to watch it in, I guess slow motion is not the right word, but in like real time, please let me know and I can always make a separate video on it. So, I think that's all the layers for this one. I've also taken out the sentiment. It looks like the rest of these are for... That one's one of mine, isn't it? So the only thing I will say with the Hunky Dory ones is that they're not labelled. So some of the multi-layer decoupage kits that you can buy from other places, and I used to see it a lot when I first did my paper crafting. I don't see them as much now, but some of them will have your layer numbers on. This one doesn't, so let me get this back in here because I don't want to lose that gorgeous stag image. And I am worried that if I don't get it in the bag that I may lose it. So apologies for the crinkling, but not losing that is more important to me right now. So we have the little sentiment. Just going to give it a very quick little clean up. Not a lot, all I'm doing is taking off these very tiny notches. And then we have our base layer. There isn't many notches on here, to be fair, which is brilliant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the layers out. This is how I do it when I work with this. This is the sort of thing that I would normally do in front of the telly while I'm on my own. I get out my 3D foam tape, I get out these sheets, and I just make them up. I chuck them in a tub, and then they're there and ready for me when I need them. So that is our first 3 images. So you're going to come across like that. We have the single faces, which will go on. We have this, which is at the front of this one here. So we have that. We have this one that's going to go on here. And what do we have? These are for the back. So that one, that side, I think. This on this side. Apologies for talking to myself. I just want to make sure I get all of these pieces in the right place. This is on the side. Look, so that's going to sit on there. This is going to sit on that one there. And then we have the little face. Now, I like to use these little strips. I also use them for my shaker cards, and to be honest, at the minute I've been using them for pretty much anything and everything. But I like these because they're small pieces of foam tape. Some of these are very small details, and trying to cut a large piece of foam tape could take a lot more time. As I say, I'm going to try and build this up as quickly as I can, but I also want to make sure I do it right as well. So I'm just going to start adding my foam tape. And I don't know why, but in my head I always work like backwards. So this one is going to sit on here, and all you're going to do is get that lined up as best as you can. So that's our first piece on. I'm then going to take the face, and don't be shy with your foam tape with this. This piece in the nose, and that's a piece across the top of its head. There we go. So then we're going to pick up this next layer, and this is going to sit on here. So you do have to look at your images because each layer will look slightly different to the one below. So if you look here, this one doesn't have that back ear because it wants that back ear to be in the background. It wants to look further away. So now we're going to take this next layer. We have that piece. We have this piece to stick on. So let's go for this little flower first. So a little piece of foam tape there. A little piece of foam tape there. And we'll stick this flower down onto here. And again, just make sure you get that lined up as best as you can. So that's that one. Then we're going to stick this down. So foam tape along there, slightly bigger piece that it comes across there, and then a smaller piece just to sit in there to make sure it's all got that foam tape in. So then this is going to sit this way. That one. Fit there like that. So that's our image pulling up. Then we've got the gorgeous wolf's faces to add on. So a strip just there. We've got a strip just there. Then I'm going to grab a new piece of the foam tape because I've already used one strip, or nearly actually. It wasn't quite a full strip, to be fair. So now we're going to put some more on here. Just a little one on here like so. And with this, what you can also do, so I like to use all of the layers on each of them, but it can make these cards very, very thick. What you can do instead, and I know lots of people do, is that they can actually just use a few of those and create two separate toppers. So if you think about like this is your base topper. It's got a lot of the extra white in the background. However, what you could actually do is have this one as a base instead. You could then, you kind of like do one, skip one, do one, skip one. So you'd put the next layer on that one, the following layer on that one, and you mix and match it over. And what you end up having instead is you have two toppers that are not quite so thick. They're not quite so chunky, which, especially if you're making cards that are likely to be posted as opposed to just like hand delivered, you're going to want to make those cards a little bit thinner because otherwise it will cost you a fortune in postage. Another thing that you can do as well is you can just use thinner foam tape, or, and I used to do this a lot, and I don't know if this is still a thing, but you can get like 3D silicone glue that was also used for this 3D decoupage. And with that, it allows you a little bit more control over how thick you make your decoupage because you just put less of the glue underneath each of the layers and squish it out a little bit. So that could be another option if you wanted all the layers but just didn't want them to be quite so thick, because these can get a bit chunky. I don't mind because I generally, like, if I'm giving one of these style cards, I would just give them to the person. And certainly at the minute, though I am looking at possibly changing my postage options in the new year, when I post anything out, whether it be a scrunchie or a card or anything, it all goes in a little box. I've got some like little, they're classed as like large letter boxes, and it just means that they get the protection. So I don't mind if they're a bit chunky because these still fit in those types of postage boxes. And at least then I know that it can't get squished. Can't tell if I picked it up then. So I'm going to stick this one on this side, like so. And then we're going to put these gorgeous wolves on here. Again, you can see I'm not being very tight on my 3D foam whatever this needs, it's getting, because what I really don't want is for this to be uneven. Put some up the top there, look. One on there. One on there. A bit there as well. Nearly there, guys. I don't know how long it's taken me to do. Not too long, I don't think. So this one then sits on here. Again, I'm trying to get all the different pieces of that image lined up. I hope that the camera is picking up just how beautiful this looks, because I absolutely love these style. And now I'm going to grab another strip of foam tape, because now we need to get this stuck down. So I try not to mix and match my foam tape because they're not all the same height. If your foam tape is all of the same height, then I would use the skinny pieces for where you need something with more detail. And if you've then got larger foam pads that are the same thickness, you can then obviously use them for this. And it would just save some of that skinnier stuff for where you actually need it. So that's that on there. One more of the foam tape strips. There we go. One more just there, just to make sure it is all even. I don't want this to be flat anywhere. Last piece up there. Pop that to one side. I'm going to need that when I know I'll probably just wet glue these down, to be honest. So then the last thing to do here is, again, line it up, and you've got so many different areas you need to make sure you've got lined up. But that is the beautiful topper. And I'm going to pause the video, I'm going to clean my desk slightly, I'm going to go find some papers that I think will match with this, and we'll get the card made up and finished. Right, I'm back. So we've got our gorgeous topper, and I really want to play into those pinks, the idea that this is like a couple in love. So I've gone for this pink Decoupage Paper Mania capsule collection in the Wild Rose. It's one I picked up from a John Eastwood craft event that they had on. I'm also going to grab a card blank, and what size do I want? I think I'm going to go for a C6. It's usually quite a nice size card for these toppers. It's not too big. I've got room to pop my sentiment. I'm also going to pop on some washi tape, I think, as well. I've got my washi tape to the side of me just to maybe bring that in. Let's see what I want out of here. I don't think I want anything like too big and too bright. Thought I saw one I liked and now I can't see it. maybe that one. Or possibly something more like this one. I think I'm going to go for that one, a little bit more subtle. So pop those away. And then I am going to bring in some gold mirror. I just want to make sure that I'm tying in all of these colours, apart from that piece of silver that I've picked up. So let's try again with a piece of the gold, I think. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm going to go for a piece of the gold. I'm going to do the gold backing. Then I'm going to cut down the pattern paper. But I have got my washi tape that I want to add onto it as well. So let's bring in the UTG. And then I did just go slightly over, so I'm just going to curl that up. Take my gold, line this up, and then I am just going to trim around this. I always use a pair of scissors and I just use the card blank as my guide. Go. So that is our gorgeously lined card blank, and then I'm going to bring in my cutter. Ooh. And I do want to just measure this before I start cutting my decorative. So it's just over 4 by 1 notch under 6, so just over 4. So we're going to go 1 notch under 4, I think. Here we go. 1 notch under 4. And we're going to go to the 2nd notch under 6. Oh, misjudged that one. I thought it was 1 notch under 6. Oh, I did it to the 5. Oh, dear me. Right, different paper. Put that one to one side. Won't go to waste, so don't worry. Aye, aye, aye. We'll go for this one instead. It's still quite a delicate print. Right, let's try again. So the card is 1 under 6. So I'm going to go 1 under 4 on this cut. That's better. Look. There we go. So that's going to sit like that. Oh, dear me. Then I want to bring in my washi tape, and I don't really know what washi tape I want to go for, so I'm going to bring in both. I think I'm more likely to find something I'm after in this one. So if you are new here, first of all, please do subscribe. It really helps my channel to grow, and the more it grows, the more I can bring you videos and things. But if you are new, you may not have seen these. So I like probably a lot of crafters, especially anybody who does like paper crafting. I've got lots of rolls of washi tape, and you can never have too many, can you? Right? Well, I guess my storage said that you can have too many, because I was slowly but surely running out of where I could put them. So I started having a look at different storage solutions, and I noticed that quite a few paper crafters put theirs on like pieces of card, and it means they're not on the rolls, they're not taking lots of space. I liked that idea, but I wanted something that I could reuse time and time again. So I picked up these like business cards. They're just plastic cards, like your bank card, they're that sort of size, and I wind my washi tape around it, I guess. As you can see, I've got lots. These were in a lidded box, but I was slowly running out of room in that, because I have in there my rolls of like the little stickers, and I have rolls of washi that are on their own backing, so I don't like take anything off of a back. I only ever put washi on here that is just on like a standard tape. So I've put them in these little tubs for now. This may not be its permanent home, but it's where it's going to sit for now. And I can flick through them and just look for a sheet of washi tape that I want. They take a lot less space, as you can tell. I don't know which one to go for. I really like the sunflowers on the bottom, and it does draw out the pinks and the purples. There's also that pink and floral. I don't have an exact match. These are like a wildflower. They're plain. I don't think I want a plain coloured washi. That one's got similar colours, but it's only a skinny one. Take out the ones I like, that I think are possible. So I have kind of organised them when I moved them along. So I've got my plain washi at the back, I've got my foiled, I've got my marbled, and then in here I've got my Christmas, some plain floral, animals, colour matches. They're like autumny ones, some fruit ones. So I have tried to organise them a little bit. That one could work actually. I think I might go for that one. I think that one. Put those back in there. Move these out the way a second. So I'm going to go for this one. So it just rolls straight off. So it's no different than having it on a roll, it's just that these don't take up so much storage space. So, I want the fox to sit there. The wolf, sorry. Hi. I think if this goes along here, like so. Then I'm going to cut it just ever so slightly longer than what I actually need it to be, like so. Roll that back up and pop that in my tub. Then wrap these around there like that. So we've got one there, one there. That's then going to be captured underneath that paper and it will stop it from unrolling. So then I'm going to ATG this up. There we go. Then I'm going to line this up on my card. There we go. Then I'm going to wet glue this down so that it's not too thick. Turn that over. Pop that exactly where I want it. That's such a beautiful image. That will dry. I'm going to pop some 3D foam tape onto this because this isn't going to be as wide as, not going to be as thick, sorry, as my topper is unless I put about 6 layers on here. I do want it to not necessarily stand out, but it is something that I want you to like look at. With love to a special couple. There we go. To make sure that topper is stuck down. And then I'm going to grab my little self-adhesive rhinestones. I think I'm going to use these gold ones actually just to tie it all together. Which ones do I want? I don't want the big ones. Do I put 2 big ones? Do you know what I am? I'm going to go for 2 big gold ones on either side of the sentiment. Just flip that one off. Look. Now I always pop a little bit of wet glue, or at least I do now. I didn't originally, but I do now. One. Two. Three. And 4. And there we go. That is today's advent calendar card. I hope you've enjoyed this. I absolutely love working with this 3D decoupage. I think it just looks absolutely stunning. Just look at that imagery. Thank you so much for joining me here today. If you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button and the like and the notification bell so that you know each and every time that we post a video. We are posting up a new advent calendar every single day until Christmas Day, and we'll even post one up on Christmas Day as well. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful rest of your week. Bye for now.